When you're shopping at Spirit Halloween, it's that time of the year when everybody runs to their favorite store, Spirit Halloween, where you watch all the cheap plastic produced, where you see fake blood and different Halloween decorations be put up for sale. And I have to say, this year, I was a little more interested in this store than I usually am. I think it's just because like I don't know I'm given into the spirit of Halloween. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think that I've become a lot more like interested in, I don't know, decoration lately, or just like, how can I make the Halloween aesthetic, or how can I make the look of it, you know what I mean, a part of my everyday life. And so I got a couple of lights. I got some extra inflatable ornaments for like the front lawn and stuff like that. And then I look at like the spider webs, like all that cotton stuff that they put out and they do. I was just like, that's cool and all, but it's a bit much. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit like, what are we doing here? I don't know. It's cool, but it's not. It just seems like a lot of maintenance. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel all that fun, or it just. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're going for. You know what I mean? What you're in the mood for this Halloween. But the Spirit Halloween, right? The store itself. I don't know. It's the kind of fun. It's kind of like the one place that people are going there for, like, we're here for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's something cool about it. It's different for like Christmas, I guess, right? Because like for Christmas, you can go shopping for presents, or well, I guess getting like a Christmas tree is a sort of like regular thing. I don't know. I suppose there's like people are going there to like dress up, or going there for like a specific idea or a costume, or a style of horror, you know what I mean? Whereas Christmas, it can be like any range of things, you know what I'm saying? You can have, obviously red and green are like the highlights, but you can have like a blue, you can have like a white, you could do a purple and green. Like there's so many varieties with Christmas and with other holidays, but I feel like this one is the one where it's like mostly about how can we make it spooky, I guess. And when you're actually in the place, like when I first went into the store, I wasn't really like, I don't know, expecting a whole lot, but I was kind of like interested to see like, okay, what are we doing with this place? And then I was pretty interested to see that, like, the more and more I looked around, the more and more I thought about like, oh, that's really good. That's really interesting. Like I like that, that idea, or for that, like, I kind of like the different costumes and the different potential and the ideas that were there, as opposed to like, I mean, not having any, but I'm just saying that like, when you're shopping in there, or when you're looking around, you're kind of like, ooh, this is a really good idea. This is a really cool thing that we could do and whatnot, And they always have like the big decorations, and you would think that like, oh, it's Spirit Halloween, they would like decorate it a lot better, but I thought that was kind of funny, is that like they don't use their own decor to decorate the place. I mean, they do, but it's like on display. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a part of the actual store. It's like, we're only putting this up for whatchamacallit. We're putting this up because we want somebody else to buy it. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it's still pretty cool. Just really big stuff. I think that when you're shopping over there, most people already have a pretty concrete idea of what they want, or like what they're going for. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going there to find like a ghost, or if you're going there to find like a costume or an idea, or you need like a certain prop, or if you need fake blood, or if you're trying to get like oh, this is a cool idea. Let's get this, you know what I mean? But the more and more I stayed there, the more and more I was kind of like, ooh, this would be a cool idea or a concept or a funny like thing I could do. And I don't know, I think that, how can I put it? Like the scariness, like the whole like creepy Halloween spooky season, it kind of like, it makes everybody kind of like, I don't know what's the right word. It brings out a little bit more creativity than not. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe other holidays like Valentine's Day, it's a little bit more traditional. You know, it's a little bit more like flowers and roses and like, you know, jewelry and chocolates. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a. I mean, you could obviously be creative with that as well, with the romance of it. You know what I'm saying? Each to your own partner. But what I'm trying to say is that like, there's no set Halloween parameters. You know what I mean? It's just like whatever you think is creepy. You know, and obviously they do like skeletons and spiders and ghosts but there's such a wide array of monsters and weird spooky things that it's just like it's hard to focus it into one thing. Whereas for like Valentine's Day, it's like, oh yeah, you get flowers. For Valentine's Day, it's like chocolates. You know what I mean? It's pretty straightforward. It's an easy like guess, or it's an easy like, oh, this is what we can do, or this is what I can do, or this is what I can give, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I guess for like Christmas, it's also a bit traditional. It's like, you know, you don't see like a Christmas, what's it called? You know, you use a pine tree, you use red, and I don't know. I mean, you could be creative with that too, but I'm just saying that's like Halloween. It has such more variety to it, so much more, so many more ways to, you know, get your freak on. You know what I mean? It's pretty fun and it's pretty creative. And when you see people in the store, like there were other people shopping, you can see people like scrambling around and taking a look at everything and just being like, ooh, this is cool, or what about this, or think about that, or what if we get this, or, you know, they're also like, what if we go online shopping? And I feel like Halloween online shopping, like now is when they start increasing the prices for all things Halloween, all decor, all costumes, and like everything in between. And that's kind of what you expect, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, now is when everybody starts to get into the spirit of it. But I was always like under the impression that like people knew that. So in September, like that's when you actually get the things. You know, you get it a month before, so that way you're not behind on the, like, you know what I mean, when they increase the prices. But anyways, what I'm getting at here is when you're shopping at Spirit Halloween, you're getting an idea of like how many people, or you really feel like that's when the season starts taking off. You know what I mean? The employees are like, you know, they're shuffling around like all of the little like things and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like they're shuffling around costumes, they're shuffling around merchandise. They're like, "Ooh, yeah, let's put this out into the front," and then they're kind of like pushing things to the back. Like I was at the store, at the Spirit Halloween store, and there's like, you know, obviously there's the front with all of the things that you can buy, and then there's the back where the employees are like, oh, employees only. And I kind of, you know, looked inside to kind of see what was back there, and it was a lot more space back there. Like there was so much more space in the back than there was in the actual like front of the store, but they kept all of that open space back there because all of the inventory that they had. So I don't know what they do with all of that, but I imagine that it's a lot more of the same old stuff that they have up front. Like they probably have like another box of fake blood in the back. You know what I mean? Of like those things, so that way they can kind of be like, oh no, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. If that sells out, then they could just restock it. You know what I mean? And depending on how much like they actually sell, but it's interesting nonetheless. And I guess more of their expensive items, they would be there would be fewer in stock. So like the cheap costumes, they probably have like bundles of those, boxes of those. Like there's probably a box of I saw like Lilo and Stitch costumes. That was like a big, like that was one of the costumes that I saw. It was like kid friendly and for all ages, and it's just a cute little thing, right? But they probably have like a couple of boxes of that because that's gonna be a hot. It's gonna be a hot toy. I mean, there's gonna be a really hot costume during this year because they came out with the Lilo and Stitch movie earlier, and there's like a Hawaiian vibe to it, and I just feel like that kind of aesthetic works for kind of for what they're doing, but I don't know. I don't know. I just think that what else is there? I feel like all of the generic costumes, like cowboys, is like you don't need to buy that. Um, Police officer, you know, I don't know. I think that when it comes down to like how much they have and how much they actually sell, it's very few, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and act like I was buying a costume over there cuz I wasn't. I was more interested in like the props or like the decorations and stuff. And I imagine it's a lot harder for Spirit Halloween to be like, "Hey, we need more orders of this, inflatable, or of this, like, of these Halloween lights." And they're like, I guess it's just easier to sell, like, or to have bigger bundles of cheap costumes than it is to have bundles of, like, the really good and quality stuff, I suppose. You know what I mean? I mean, it's Spirit Halloween, right? It's not supposed to be, like, quality. It's just supposed to be decorations and cheap plastic and like easy decor items. It's not supposed to be like this huge isn't it supposed to be like this huge beautiful what's it called? Perfect decor, or like really high quality stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, it's a plastic skeleton. You know what I mean? It's not like a wooden skeleton, or it's not like a plastic infused with like metal kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's that, but it's more so online. But anyways, I'm getting off the point here. My point is, when you're shopping at Spirit Halloween, it's literally who goes in there, and I always feel like people don't go to Spirit Halloween to get everything that they need for Halloween. You know, they go to Spirit Halloween because they already have an idea of how they're gonna do Halloween, and then they just look for like little things. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking for the smaller, I don't want to say easier, but just like the simple things. You know what I mean? What else can we add? You know? And so, more often than not, I think that it's kind of like a last minute wake up call of like, hey, are you doing Halloween or are you not? You know what I'm saying? Sorry. People are kind of like, some people are kind of indifferent towards Halloween. They're like, yeah, the kids can come over and, I'm gonna probably like just pass out some candy. I'm not gonna actually give into the thing. Whereas other people are gonna like, they're gonna give into it, And I always like those people that actually like give into the spirit of Halloween and whatnot. That really go for it, And so, what else is there? I like the idea that you can go somewhere, and that's what the brilliance of it is that you have a place where you can go like, man, I need some Halloween things, or I need like a little touch of character or additives to give my home the kind of Halloween feel and the aesthetic. Where can I go? Oh, there's a physical place for it, as opposed to like, let me just go online and shop for it myself. You know what I mean? This way you can kind of get a real life idea of what's available to you, and then I don't know. I still think online shopping for Halloween, like actual stuff, is the best way to do it. But at the same time, it's probably better for you to go see for yourself, like how how much of something it is, like how big the item that you're getting is, or the costume that you want, and things like that, as opposed to like ordering it online. But of course, if you know your measurements and you know everything, then it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know. I think that the cheap style of Halloween costumes isn't alluring as much as it is like putting together yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna dress up as like Woody from Toy Story, you don't just go to the store and you get like a Woody Halloween costume. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, let me actually spend my money on something, like on a really good costume. So like you actually buy cowboy boots and you buy the shirt and some jeans and you get the hat and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually put in the effort towards the costume. And I think that's a really cool thing, or like a development, is that we're not reliant on the cheap costumes. I mean, obviously they're nice to have, but I'm thinking more so in terms of like, if you're going to do Halloween, I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm going to do it right. If I'm going to do this costume, I'm going to do it right. And I don't know. I've always been more of like if I'm going to do Halloween, I'm going to do it fun. You know what I mean? I'm not a big like, I'm not huge on costumes, but I'll do it. I'm more so of like a simple and easy and like fun kind of a costume. I said it before, I did that Winnie the Pooh onesie, and I really like the onesies because they're just like, they're simple, they're comfortable, you can wear it and you look like the character, and it's all fun. It's not anything too serious, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like, I don't know, wearing a cheap Halloween like Grim Reaper outfit just as like, I get it, but I feel like I could be more of a character, or I have a lot more fun with like the onesie costume than anything else. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing where I really appreciate people who go all out on the costumes, but I myself, I'm just like, I just want to have fun, and I'll dress up for fun, but not for like a really serious thing. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. I also really like those people that do the makeup. Oh my goodness. If you could probably go on social media right now, and there's like a bunch of people who do like the Halloween makeup aesthetic and the makeup style and whatnot. Like that's a huge deal. And I have great appreciation for those people. Especially the real makeup artists who like do some of the celebrities, or like they'll do like all of those, I don't know what you call it. They'll do all of the oh my goodness, the prosthetics. They'll do like the nose, they'll do like the makeup, they'll do like all of the wax and things like that. You know what I mean? Like those people who really know what they're doing. I like that. I know a little bit about it. I know how to do like it's been a long time. I probably need like a refresher, but like you could do like a bullet wound, you know what I mean? That's pretty easy. That's pretty simple. I don't know, a bruise here and there. Nothing too crazy. It's just that I don't know, that's a little too much for me. Not that I don't appreciate it. I definitely think that's cool, if you do it. But for me, I just more of like a keep it simple, have fun, Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a big like, I need to be dressed up like the alien, and I need to be like a demon from Spider Hell. You know what I mean? Like that's great commitment, and I appreciate that, but it's not, it's just not for me. But my point is, when you're shopping at Spirit Halloween, most of the time people already have an idea of like, this is what we're doing for Halloween. This is how we're going to make it crazy. And then they just go there for like the feel, you know what I mean? What's something else that we can add? What's something else that's there that we can really, up our game? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know, I'm glad to see that like there were so many people at the store. I didn't see a lot of people buy stuff. Now maybe that's the thing, is that most people would just go there for like just to look around, but I was there for like, what can I do to like spruce things up, or like really get in the spirit. I think that there are so many parts of this holiday that need just a little bit more oomph to it, You just need a little bit more to give into. And I really like the way that it's an option. And I like the way that they constantly provide the opportunity to be just a little bit more spooky, just to give into the season just a little bit more. Is it propaganda? Is it, oh, we're just going to use you to like get your money or whatever? Sure, whatever, why not? But I don't know, I think that in the long run it's really cool, That's what it all is at the end of the day. It's just to be cool, to have fun, to enjoy it. I think that, there's honestly so many things about Halloween that leaves things open for fun and joy and spookiness, scariness, And so, when all is said and done, I like shopping at Spirit Halloween. I like the feel of the place. You go there and it's exactly what you want it to be. It's about, all right, they have all of the things, or they have a couple of things that I'm like interested in. Let me see how it fits into my life. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't know if it's definitely not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's one of those moments where you kind of, it's the appreciated store that comes around like once every so often, And I have to say, it's just really cool to have something like that at your disposal, or at your fingertips, or that's just a drive away. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like it. I don't like it. It's everything you want, but doesn't have everything you need. It's kind of the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? It's cheap, but it's expensive. It's Halloween, but it's not perfectly Halloween. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that they could definitely up their game, but what do I know? I don't own the place, but I'm just saying, when you're shopping at Spirit Halloween, it's just to get into the spirit of Halloween. You know what I mean? Literally in the spirit of Halloween. So there's not much I can say outside of that. It's just what you put into the store, what you get out of the store is all up to you. You can buy the skeleton, you can buy the spider, you can buy the decor, but it doesn't mean nothing until you actually think about how it's gonna feel for the for the Halloween time. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just something to think about. Just something I'm happy about, or that I'm glad that I got to. I don't know, that I got to shop or be a part of, I guess. But anyways, Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Enjoy. Go to your local Spirit Halloween. I'm sure they got at least there must be something, at least one thing there that you can use, or like one thing that you're like, oh, this is a cool little like thing that I could use or I could try. You know what I mean? There's got to be something, at least one thing. One thing. If you can't find one thing in that Spirit Halloween that you can't use, then you're not really about Halloween. You know what I mean? So go to your local Halloween, Spirit Halloween, and see what's over there. What's something that you could add on to your freak? You know what I mean? And yeah, just enjoy it. Have fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Thank you.